to talk about the A series. We're super excited. We've expanded the features on the product based on, lots of the market feedback, as we often do with products once we get them out to market. And two of the biggest pieces of feedback that we got from the product was originally the product was 120 volt only. And obviously this product is most commonly utilized in corridors, which especially in multifamily or hospitality applications, high-rise buildings where you might have really long runs in the corridors, 277 volt was really necessary. And originally we thought, oh, you could pull the 120 volt from the units, but that just, takes a lot more coordination and made it a less desirable product. So the first major update that we did with this product is it's now a dual voltage driver, so 120 through 277. Otherwise, the wattage has stayed the same, so 50 watt product, as you see here. The nice thing about this product is, so a lot of illuminated signage in the market is low voltage. So you have to find a place to store all those drivers. And especially if you have a really long corridor where you might not have, an easily accessible closet for some of those, or you can't, pull a run that long for each driver, that can be cumbersome. So the nice thing with our product is that the driver that comes with the product is fully integrated into the fixture itself. We actually designed this around our surface mounts. So when we, have sold these surface mounts since I think 2017, so for many, many years, and we started getting a lot of requests from developers to basically screen print on this and be able to mount this in a junction box, because they thought it would be a really great solution to be able to have, a cost-effective signage solution that can fit into a standard junction box and is, nice and compact, that could also fit between the wall joists. So essentially, once we started looking into it, we realized it was not just as simple as screen printing on the lens of our surface mount. Although you can vertically mount this, there's no issues there. But you do need to have, different things for ADA compliance. The text has to be a certain height. The braille has to be integrated. So as you can see, our faceplates actually have the braille engraved, and then you have the letters are also raised. But kind of going back to some of the other solutions in the market, the nice part about this is even though it's a fully customized sign, it allows you to have the modularity of a typical DMF fixture. So with that, I mentioned, the product ships in two pieces. So the first piece that you're going to order, and I'll pull up our cut sheet and our custom order form, but essentially the product ships in this. So this is the ADR 30 or 20. The 30 is the 3000 Kelvin. The 27 is the 2700 Kelvin. Right now, those are the two standard color temperatures. We potentially, if you have an opportunity for a different color temperature, we can potentially explore that. So just reach out to your salesperson. Those are just the most commonly requested and ordered at the moment. And essentially when you get this product, it's going to come with two pieces. So you have the driver and then you have the faceplate. So the driver is going to be this little back part. It usually doesn't have this quick connect. We added it so that we can easily plug it in. But you can mount it on any junction box. So it could be a 4.0, a 4R, or even our F4NC if you cut these bar hangers down and wanted to use that in the wall and just have one solution from one manufacturer, you can certainly do that. This driver is going to mount based on the junction box that you're using. It'll mount like so and align with the holes on the side. So for a 4.0, it'll align right there. You'll then connect the faceplate part by essentially connecting these two little wires. Actually, this is the wrong way. Opposite way. But you'll basically quick connect the driver to the faceplate using these two wires in front. And then everything's kind of good to go from a contracting installation standpoint. The custom faceplate, and these we can ship out generally unless you have, a really large order where, for some reason it kind of, spikes and upsets our inventory. We generally can ship those out in 24 to 48 hours. They're just an off-the-shelf item. So super, super quick to get out there, ensure that your project timelines are not being held up. And then the faceplate, which is fully customizable. So right now the faceplate is just this size. The product itself is just this size. The faceplate has two different options. So you can do a landscape orientation, as you see here, or horizontal, or portrait, or vertical. When you do the vertical orientation, you can do up to 5 alphanumeric characters. They can be in the bottom right corner, bottom left corner, upper right corner, upper left corner at the moment. The letters, as I mentioned, are injection molded and raised. So right now we have 2 fonts, and that's because each letter we have to kind of custom assemble into here. So Proxima Nova or Helvetica are the 2 fonts. But again, if you have a large opportunity with, special request, it never hurts to ask us. We do work with a signage fabricator for this part, so there is some flexibility. The standard right now is black, but we can match any custom RAL color. So for the portrait orientation, again, up to 5 alphanumeric. So this one right here I just did that says DMF, but you also could do this one in the landscape orientation, says lab. So you can use it for room signage if you wanted, to say kind of conference or things of that nature. With a horizontal orientation, you are limited to 8 alphanumeric characters. So you still do have some limitation because we're limited to this size of the letter at the moment. But again, you can put it in any of the 4 corners, have the 2 font sizes, and then once you have the fixture lit up, as you can see with any of the fixtures that I have here, you have a nice clean solution with the illuminated numbers, a really clean edge, and it looks like it's shipped as one piece without kind of the headache. So usually the faceplate piece, I'll walk you through the kind of custom order form. That tends to take, I would say, approximately 4 weeks is what we like to say, partially because we want to give you a submittal so you can review and ensure all of those numbers, there's no typos, there's no issues. Once you approve that submittal, we then will do fabrication, and then our quality control team here does a 100% quality review of these signs. So as I mentioned, we use a signage fabrication vendor. We want to ensure that all of the signage is up to our standards, that there's no scratches, marks, dusts, and things, because this will be right at eye level and the first thing that people see as they're, entering a unit or a hotel room. So we want to make sure that these are in the utmost possible shape. But the nice thing is, because we can add these as a finish step, we don't have to worry about them getting dirty or scratched or nicked during the construction process. So to that installation step, I want to also review another important feature that we added for the second generation of the product. So the original product looks very similar. As you can see here, this was the original product, and this is the new product. You'll notice the new product has these little silver dots. Those are actually magnets, because with the original product, the way that we attached the signage was with an adhesive. So you see right here, we have some 3M strips. Those just attached onto the fixture. But as you can imagine, if there, something went wrong, they attached the wrong sign to the fixture, maybe there was a scratch during the, kind of move-in of the building, there could be a plethora of reasons where you might need to remove that signage, or even, down the road, if the fixture fails and you want to access the driver, you can access it by, very easily taking this off. But generally you're having to use a much more intense type of tool to remove an adhesive sign from this and access the driver inputs to be able to remove that from the wall. sometime potentially damaging the sign, in which we'd have to replace it. So what we decided with this new version is rather than having these adhesives on the back, the sign actually has these magnetic tracks. And this also helps with the alignment too. It ensures that it goes on perfect. So that basically lines up. To the average eye, you can't see that this lines in, and you'll also see there's a little bit of a lip here. So some people, when we originally talked about this design, were concerned that potentially, you know, somebody could tamper with it, but because of this lip, there's really no way, unless somebody's holding a magnet like this in their, you know, back pocket walking through, you know, purposefully going up to the sign to remove it. It's really not going to be something that, you know, the average person knows to do. So with that, if you do need to remove it, we have this little suction cup little magnet thing that you can use to remove it. It's very kind of in depth, but super easy to be able to now service the fixture. So serviceability, I think, is one of the paramount things that people know our product for. So we're constantly working to evolve and revolutionize our product to make it the most serviceable and customer friendly that it possibly can. So, you know, two small little things, but I think they'll make a really big difference through the longevity of this product and make it an even better product for hotel owners, you know, developers, multifamily owners and developers, and, you know, really make this the ideal long-term signage solution for any of these properties out in the market, essentially. So with that, I think I've covered all of the product features. Pretty straightforward, clean and simple product. What I'm going to show you next is the custom order form and configurator. We also have a new install video, which I want to direct you to kind of take a look at on your leisure. We installed one of these in our office in front of our lab, which is why I have all these extra lab signs. So I will show you that and then give you the rest of your day back. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to type into the chat or the Q&A. And then, all right, so hopefully everyone can see my screen. So this is just our A series, A for address, illuminated signage page. So as you can see, we updated the input to 120 through 277 volt. It is ADA compliant, so I didn't mention that. I think I alluded to it with the Braille and some of the requirements with the sizing. But we do have an ADA requirement compliance right now. It is damp location only. So that's the one caveat. You can use it exterior if you have like a canopy or something that's covering it, but I would not put it in direct view of water. I think we did, you know, look to add a wet listing to it for this round, but just to kind of get it to market quicker, we launched with these two pieces, and we'll look into, you know, further expanding the options of the product as we move forward. So spec sheet, IS files, Revit files. What I really wanted to walk through was the ordering template. So basically, you'll fill out project name, location, the email where the submittal should be sent, the quantity of the fixtures, just so we can verify the number on the PO to the number that we're submitting on. Then the product configuration. So product configuration is going to be a reference from the spec sheet. So on our spec sheet, you have the product builder where we have the fixture. And as I mentioned, it's highlighted because it can ship really quickly in 1 to 2 days. And then you have your faceplate. So basically on your, oops, now I can't get back to my Excel. But on your configurator, you're going to take whatever the specification from your faceplate was down here, put it right there, and then you're going to list out all of your room numbers. So room numbers will just get listed in this column. You will want to do, so say you had a space where for some reason you wanted the faceplate orientation to be different in some floors or some buildings as part of the same project, you would want to ultimately fill out a new configuration summary, as this is going to only reference one configuration type. So you can always put it in the same file. Our team can manage that, but I would recommend to kind of make things as straightforward as possible. You do a separate configuration summary and room number for everyone, but then you just add in all the different room numbers. The reason we have numbers in the left column is to count, so you can verify and make sure. A lot of times people don't number their units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 302, 306. So it can get a little tricky to keep track of how many you've gone through at that point. So that's just kind of as a point of reference. So super quick and easy. You send that into your account manager or A-Series email. We'll get you back a submittal for review and approval, and you should be on your way. We also have, as I mentioned, an installation video. So the videos are always great. The installation video is brand new, and I won't play it, and I'll let you guys watch it on your own. But essentially, this will walk through any of those installation features that I discussed, as well as the maintenance. We did also add the different bookmarks to the product. So if there's a specific piece of the video that you're looking for, you can just reference down below. We've added that to all of our installation videos now, so hopefully that's a helpful trick. And with that, I think that's all on my end, but I'm 1 minute over, so if you have any questions, I don't see any in the chat or the Q&A, but I'll stick around for a minute or two if there's anything I can answer for you. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining.